Hi everyone, my name is Mary and welcome back to Queen Ink. Today on Saturday Granny, we're going to be doing the Icy Shells. It's a very easy and very simple pattern. You'll just repeat row number 2 over and over again. It works up really quick and it looks really beautiful. That's what the front looks like, and this is what the back looks like. Don't forget to scroll down and hit that like button so I know that you're enjoying this video. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more tutorials such as this one and others I will do in the future. Alrighty, so let's get into the tutorial of Icy Shells. Alrighty, so the tools that you're going to need for the Icy Shells are going to be a pair of scissors, a needle with a large eye hole so you can sew in all your strings, a crochet hook of your choice. I'm using the I9 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, and of course some yarn. So this one is going to be the Caron Simply Soft, and I believe this one is called Light Blue. This one is Red Heart, and I know it's in the color teal. And then our border for our granny square, our Icy Shells, is going to be Yarnspirations Caron Simply Soft, 6 ounces, 170.1 grams, medium 4-weight yarn, and this one is going to be called Feathered Gray. Alrighty, so let's get into the tutorial. Alrighty, so in order to start your Icy Shells Saturday Granny, you're going to make a slip knot. So you're going to take your yarn and wrap it around your fingers to make a loop. Put that yarn behind the loop and then take your crochet hook and go under and up, and then you're going to pull tight to make that loop. And we're going to start with the teal yarn, and then we're going to switch to the light blue. So we're going to make a chain of 2. We're making a foundation single crochet of 21. So you're going to yarn over and pull through. There's 1 chain, yarn over and pull through. There's 2 chains. You're going to go back into that very first chain from the very first chain that you just made. You're going to go right back into there, grab your working yarn and pull up a loop. You have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over that first loop to make that chain, then yarn over both loops to make that single crochet. You're always working on the bottom of your work, that's why your yarn tail is up. You're going to go under those 2 bars right there, and then you're going to grab your working yarn and pull up a loop. Then you're going to yarn over and go through that first loop to make that chain, and then you're going to yarn over both loops to make that single crochet. I will be back when I have 21 of these. Alrighty, so I am back and I made 21 foundation single crochets. So now what you're going to do is you're going to chain 1, so you yarn over and pull through. Flip your work upwards. We're now going to be working on the top of our work, and now we're going to make a double crochet. So you're going to yarn over, go into that stitch, grab your working yarn, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Now what we're going to do is we're going to skip 2 chains, so 1, 2, and into the 3rd chain we're going to put 5 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this is going to be row number 1. So that's what it looks like. And then what you're going to do is you're going to skip 2 chains, and into that 3rd one you're going to put 1 double crochet. Into the next single crochet, I keep saying chains but they're actually single crochets. Into the next single crochet you're going to put another double crochet. So what you're going to have is you're going to have these 5 double crochet shells, and then in between the shells you're going to have these 2 double crochets. Okay, so then now what you're going to do is you're going to skip 2 single crochets, and into that 3rd single crochet right there you're going to put 5 double crochets. My yarn is starting to pull. Okay, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now what you're going to do is you're going to skip 2 single crochets, and into the 3rd one where my thumb is, that's where you're going to put a double crochet. And then into the next stitch you're going to put another double crochet. And so this is what it should look like so far. 1 double crochet on the end and 2 in the middle of your shells. Then you're going to skip the next 2 double crochets, and into your 3rd single crochet you're going to put 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now you should have 3 single crochets left. You're going to skip the last 2 single crochets, and into the very last single crochet you're just going to put a double crochet. And that will end row number 1. Now we're going to be working on row number 2. Alrighty, so now we're going to be working on row number 2. This is the row that you're going to repeat. Row number 1 is always your setup, so you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and you're going to put 1 double crochet on top of that double crochet from the previous round. Then we're going to come over to our 5 double crochets, and we're going to find that middle double crochet right there. So if you look at your work, you'll always be skipping 2 double crochets or 2 stitches, and into your 3rd stitch you're going to put 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then again, if you turn your work, you're always going to skip 2 stitches, and into the 3rd stitch you're going to put a double crochet on top of that double crochet from the previous round. And then you're going to put another double crochet into the next stitch. Turn your work, skip those 2 stitches right there, and into your 3rd stitch right here, which should be the middle double crochet. That's where you're going to put your 5 double crochets. So hopefully that helps. If you are unsure of where to skip or where to put your double crochets, you'll just pretty much skip stitches. And 5. Okay, so that is going to be row number 2. One more time, you're going to turn your work, if that makes it easier, and see the stitches on the top. So you're going to skip 2, and into your 3rd one you're going to put a double crochet on top of the double crochet from the previous round, and then a double crochet into the next stitch, and a double crochet on top of the double crochet from the previous round. Turn your work, skip the next 2 stitches, and into the 3rd stitch you're going to put 5 double crochets. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and as per again, you'll turn your work, skip the next 2 stitches, and into the last stitch will be your 3rd stitch. You'll just put 1 double crochet. And that is row number 2. Now we're going to be working on row number 3. Alrighty, so now we're going to be working on round number 3. You're going to grab your scissors because we're going to cut our yarn. You're going to yarn over and pull through, and tighten. I only did 2 rounds of each. So now I'm going to turn my work. I'm going to go back into that double crochet from the previous round, and I'm going to grab my light blue yarn and I'm going to connect it. I'm just going to do a tie on. I'm going to put my hook back into that stitch, grab my working yarn and pull up a loop. Then I'm going to yarn over and chain 1. And then I'm going to make a double crochet into that very first stitch. So what I initially did with this pattern is I only did 2 rows of the teal and 2 rows of the light blue. In total, you should have 12 rows. So this bottom row is going to be your first row. So I counted this one as 1, 2, and 3. This one will be row number 4. I'm going to skip 2 stitches, and into the 3rd, I'm going to put 5 double crochets. So pretty much what you're doing with this pattern is you're going to put your shells on top of each other and your double crochets on top of each other. It makes a really beautiful pattern. It's great for blankets and scarves and hats and all sorts of things. That middle double crochet is where you will put your 5 double crochets for every single round. So you'll have 2 double crochets on each side of this 1 double crochet. That should let you know this is where the 5 should go. Alrighty, the 12th row that I ended up doing, which will be your last row, will be a single crochet row. So I'm actually going to do 11 rows. When I am done with my 11 rows, I will be back and I will show you how to do the single crochet row. And then we are going to do a gray border, the feathered gray border around this granny square, the Icy Shells. Okay, so just keep doing row number 2 over and over again until you get to 11 rows. Don't forget to count this bottom one as row number 1. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're on row number 4. Once you get to row number 11, I will be back shortly. Alrighty, I am back and I'm actually on row number 11. I have 1 more double crochet that I just need to do. Alrighty, when you have the 11 rows, this is what it should look like. It's really pretty. Okay, so now we're going to do row number 12, and row number 12 is going to be a single crochet row. So whatever I do on the very bottom of my work, a lot of times I like to finish it off on the top of my work. So you're going to chain 1, you're going to turn your work, and you're going to put 1 single crochet right into the top of that double crochet. So you go into your work, grab your working yarn, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both loops to make that single crochet. And then I also like to do a single crochet into the spacing as well too. So go into the spacing, grab your working yarn, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. And then I am actually going to skip that double crochet and I'm going to double crochet into the next 3 stitches. I'm going to single crochet into the next 3 stitches, not double crochet. And then I am going to single crochet into that spacing right there, and I'm going to skip that double crochet from the previous round. So that way we have this nice clean straight line going across. And then I'm going to single crochet into the 2 double crochets from the previous round. And I'm going to do that again. Go into the spacing for a single crochet, skip that double crochet, and then single crochet into the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to skip this double crochet and single crochet into the spacing just like this, then single crochet into the 2 double crochets from the previous round, and that way you get a nice clean straight line across, just like you did on the very bottom of your work right there. Nice clean straight line. Okay, so I'm almost done. I'm going to put a single crochet into the spacing. I'm going to skip that double crochet and put 3 single crochets into the next 3 stitches, and then I'm going to skip that double crochet, go into the spacing for a single crochet, and then I'm going to put a single crochet into the last stitch on the very end. Okay. And that's what it should look like. Now I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to cut my yarn off, and I'm going to yarn over and pull through and tighten. Now at this point you can actually finish here and be done, and this is your granny square. You can do that. I am not. I'm going to grab my gray yarn and we're now going to do the border. Alrighty, so once you have your gray yarn, I am going to turn my work and we're going to single crochet across the top again. We're going to half double crochet across the top. So you're going to go into that single crochet from the previous round and connect your gray yarn. I like the tie-on method a lot easier. I like the tie-on method. It is a lot easier than any of the other methods. Okay, let me just pull out some yarn. Okay, you're going to go into your stitch. Move your yarn tails out of the way. We're going to crochet those in. You're going to grab your working yarn and pull up a loop, and then we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to yarn over, go back into that stitch, grab our working yarn and pull up a loop, 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 for a half double crochet. And what I'm going to do is grab my yarn tails and I'm going to put them on the top of my stitches. I want to crochet those into the work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to single crochet across the top here, and when I get to the other side down here, I will meet you down there in just one moment. Alrighty, when you have made it to the other end, we are going to put 3 half double crochets into this very last stitch, so that way we can turn our corner. So 3 half double crochets all into that stitch, 1 more, and there we go. Nice turn for us. Okay, now that we're working on the side of our work, we're going to find spaces to crochet into. So right now off the bat we have 1 big space. I'm going to put 2 half double crochets all into this spacing, and then I see 2 spacings on the side here, so I'm going to put 1 half double crochet into each of those spacings just like that. I'm making stitches on the side of the work. Okay, and then we have another big spacing, and I'm just going to put 2 half double crochets all into that big spacing, and I'm going to do that for all the big spacings right here where we just had 1 double crochet on the end. And then right here I'm going to put 2 half double crochets into these two spacings right here. Okay, and I'm going to do that all the way down, and I'll meet you right down here on the very end in just a few moments. Alrighty, a few minutes later, and I made it down to the end, and so it looks like there's about 2 spacings left that I can put a half double crochet into. So I'm just going to half double crochet right into those spacings. And now what we're going to do is we're going to find this spacing right here. That is a stitch. I'm going to put 3 half double crochets all into that stitch, so that way we can turn the corner. 2 and 3. Perfect. And now we're working on the bottom. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put 1 half double crochet into every single stitch on the bottom of my work. This one is a stitch. As you can see, you have the spacing where we put the 5 double crochets right here. Okay, you can put your hook into there and make a stitch, or you can see this little line right here. That is where your actual stitch is. And so I'm going to go into the actual stitch right there. I know that can be a little confusing sometimes, where it looks like you have 2 different spacings. This one is actually your 5 double crochets. Okay, so single crochet all the way across, and I'll meet you down here at the yarn tail. My apologies, I didn't mean single crochet across the bottom. I meant half double crochet across the bottom, and then I will meet you at the end where the yarn tail is. Alright, so I made it to the yarn tail. Alright, so I'm going to move this piece apart like that and find the spacing, and I'm going to put 3 half double crochets all into that spacing so I can turn the corner. And that yarn tail that's on the end right here, I'm actually going to crochet that into my work, so that way I don't have to sew it in for later. So there's 3 half double crochets. That is our 3rd corner. And just like we did on the other side over here, we're going to do the same thing over here. So I had 1 half double crochet into that stitch. Now we're going to put 1 half double crochet into that spacing, and then we're going to put 2 half double crochets into the big spacing. And again, with this one, it looks like there's about 3 of them, so I'm going to put 3 half double crochets. Or what I can do is I can skip over one of them and just put a half double crochet into there, and that should look just fine. And then into the big spacing, I'm going to put 2 half double crochets. And that's what it should look like so far. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that all the way down the line, and I'll meet you down here in just a few moments. Alrighty, so I didn't make it down to the end, but I noticed that there were 2 more big spacings here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put 2 half double crochets all into this one spacing right here. Skip over this piece, and into your next big spacing you're going to put 2 half double crochets right into there. And then there you go. That will alleviate your big spacing problem. And the same thing will come down here to these 3 spacings. And so you'll put 2 half double crochets into there, 2 into this spacing, 2 into that spacing, and 2 into this spacing. Okay, and then I'll meet you down there in just a few moments. Alrighty, I actually made it down to the end, and since we put 1 single crochet in that stitch from the beginning of the round, we're now going to put 2 single crochets into that spacing or into that stitch to finish off the 3 single crochets into every corner. And then we're going to go into our very first stitch from the beginning of the round, and we're going to slip stitch yarn over and pull through and pull through. Alrighty, so at this point, oop, that zoomed in more. I was trying to zoom out. So at this point, your Icy Shells granny square is pretty much done. If you want to do another round of the half double crochet, you're more than welcome to. Sorry, I'm trying to grab my scissors. I'm going to cut my yarn at this point, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull through and tighten. And this is what your granny square should look like. I will be back in just one moment. Okay, my apologies. I had to zoom out. I don't really have a zoom in and zoom out. I have to stop the video in order to zoom out and then stop the video to zoom in. All right, so this is Saturday Granny. This was called the Icy Shells. I think it's perfect for this type of weather since we are getting lots and lots of snow. Alrighty, so thank you all for viewing this video. Don't forget to scroll down, hit that like button so I know that you're enjoying this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more tutorials such as this one and others I will do in the future. And I hope everyone has a wonderful, safe, and warm day. And until next time, bye-bye everyone.